Imagine this. You're 70 years old, walking into your favorite cafe, and the barista smiles and says, "You don't look a day over 60. You chuckle, grab your coffee, and casually walk up the stairs to your favorite seat by the window without even thinking twice. But what if I told you that this simple moment, this quiet act of moving up a flight of stairs, actually reveals more about the quality of your life than any trophy, title, or bank account ever could? See, winning at life after 70 doesn't come with applause or headlines. It comes in the form of movement without pain, memory without confusion, laughter that still bubbles up from your belly, and friendships that still feel warm and real. It's in the little things, the things most people overlook, that the real victories live. And today, we're going to uncover 6 of those small but powerful signs. 6 things that, if you can still do them at 70, prove you're not just getting older, you're aging like a champion. I'll tell you right now, number 4 will completely change the way you look at something as ordinary as laughter. So before we begin, I'd love for you to be part of this growing community of strong, wise, and thriving older adults. Go ahead and tap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment below sharing which of these 6 things you're still doing, or which one surprised you the most. Your words might be the encouragement someone else needs to keep going today. Now, back to the heart of it all. I once asked an 81-year-old woman, sharp as a tack, eyes full of warmth, what she was most proud of in her life. She paused, smiled, and said that I can still cook dinner for myself and laugh at my own jokes. It wasn't a joke. That single sentence held decades of wisdom. Because independence and joy, those are some of life's greatest, most underrated achievements. So whether you're 60, 70, or well into your 80s, this video is for you. It's not a test. It's a tribute to your strength, your resilience, and your ongoing story. Let's see how many of these life-affirming signs are still part of your everyday. Ready? Let's begin with something as simple as climbing stairs that may just predict how strong your heart and your future really are. Section 1. Climbing stairs without gasping for air. You might not think twice about walking up a flight of stairs, but let me tell you something shocking. A recent European study found that people over 60 who can climb 3 flights of stairs in under 90 seconds are significantly less likely to develop heart disease in the next 10 years. That's right. Your staircase might be more powerful than your annual checkup. And at 70? If you can still take the stairs without gasping for air, you're doing better than most, and you probably don't even know it. I remember one of my patients, a 74-year-old retired teacher, who used to dread staircases. Even a short climb would leave her breathless. But after just a few weeks of simple daily walking and light strength training, she came back beaming. She told me, "I walked up the stairs to my granddaughter's recital and didn't even stop halfway." That wasn't just a proud grandma moment, it was a personal victory, a reclaiming of independence. Here's the science behind it. As we age, our aerobic capacity, which is the heart and lungs' ability to supply oxygen to muscles, can decline by up to 40% compared to our 30s. But that decline isn't set in stone. The body is remarkably adaptive, even in your 70s. And climbing stairs is one of the simplest, most natural ways to challenge your heart, strengthen your legs, and boost circulation, all without any equipment or gym membership. So next time you're standing at the bottom of a staircase, don't groan, smile. Treat it like a mini health check. Can you make it up without stopping? Without holding the railing for dear life? If so, your body's telling you, I've still got it. And even if you can't yet, don't lose hope. A few minutes of walking each day, paired with good nutrition and hydration, can help you rebuild stamina faster than you think. Aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It just means being more intentional with how you move. And now that we've tested your legs, let's move a little higher. Because the next sign of truly winning at life after 70 is hidden not in your muscles, but in your memory. Section 2. Remembering what you ate yesterday. What did you have for lunch yesterday? If you can answer that without hesitation, congratulations, you may have just passed one of the most underrated brain health tests. And if you also remember who you were with, what you talked about, or even the smell of the food, you're not just remembering, you're thriving. I once worked with a 76-year-old man who kept a journal every night. He'd write down what he ate and one thing that made him smile during the day. It wasn't for show. It was his daily ritual to keep his mind sharp. And it worked. His memory was clearer than many people decades younger. Memory loss is one of the biggest concerns we face with age, and rightfully so. According to the Alzheimer's Association, nearly 1 in 9 adults over 65 experiences some form of cognitive decline. But here's the encouraging truth. Memory isn't just lost, it can be protected, nourished, and in many cases, improved. Remembering what you ate might sound like a small thing, but it's actually a complex mental task. It requires your brain to process time, attention, sensory input, and language. So when you can recall a meal in detail, your brain is showing that it's engaged, aware, and connected. And that matters. There are practical ways to support this vital function every single day. Read something new, solve puzzles, have real conversations. Even casual chats help keep your brain active. And don't forget your brain's fuel. Foods like berries, walnuts, leafy greens, and omega-3s are proven to support cognitive function. But memory isn't just for mental fitness, it's a gateway to connection. Think about the joy of sitting with your grandchild and sharing a story tied to last night's dinner. That's not just information, that's legacy. So if you can remember what you ate yesterday, smile, you've preserved something precious. And if not, that's okay. Every day is a new chance to engage, to strengthen, and to grow. Because in the end, memory isn't just about holding on to the past. It's about staying fully present in your life today. Now that we've looked at what your mind can hold on to, let's test something even more subtle, something that can quietly predict how well your body will support you in the years to come. It's time to talk about balance, literally. Section 3. Standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Alright, here's a fun challenge. Pause this video and try standing on one leg. No grabbing the wall. No wobbling. Just lift one foot off the ground and count to 10. Sounds simple, right? But here's what might surprise you. If you can't do it, your risk of serious health complications just skyrocketed. A major study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that adults in their 70s who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds were nearly twice as likely to face life-threatening issues, ranging from falls to chronic disease. Within the next decade, that's not just about balance. That's about life expectancy. I've worked with hundreds of seniors over the past decade, and one of the earliest signs of declining vitality isn't what most people think. It's not memory loss or muscle weakness, it's loss of balance. Because balance isn't just physical, it's neurological, it's muscular, it's mental. When you stand on one leg, your core, legs, eyes, ears, and brain all work together in perfect harmony to keep you upright. It's like an orchestra playing the symphony of health. And if one part is out of tune, the entire performance suffers. Let me tell you about Mr. Thompson, a spirited 78-year-old who came to my clinic after a minor fall. He laughed it off at first, but when we asked him to stand on one leg for 10 seconds, he couldn't manage 3. That moment hit him harder than the fall. But here's the good news. With just a few weeks of simple exercises, like heel-to-toe walking, chair squats, and daily practice, he came back and nailed the 10-second test. And more importantly, he walked with confidence again. So, what can you do today? Try the test. If you can hold for 10 seconds, amazing. Keep it up. If you can't yet, don't panic. Start training your balance with slow, focused movement. Tai Chi, yoga, even brushing your teeth while standing on one leg, these things matter. Because staying balanced isn't just about avoiding falls. It's about telling your body, I'm still in control. And now that you've tested your legs and challenged your coordination, let's move on to something just as essential, something that lives deeper than the muscles or joints. Let's talk about joy, the kind that bubbles up into pure, unfiltered laughter. Section 4. Laughing out loud. The joy that keeps you young. When was the last time you laughed so hard your stomach hurt? Not a polite chuckle, but a full, deep, belly-shaking laugh that made your eyes water and your worries fade? If you're over 70 and you can still laugh like that, you're holding on to something far more powerful than most people realize. Laughter isn't just a fun reaction. It's a sign of resilience, emotional strength, and vitality. In fact, research from Stanford University shows that laughter reduces stress hormones, strengthens the immune system, and even increases pain tolerance. That means your body isn't just enjoying the moment. It's actually healing while you laugh. I remember a 79-year-old woman I worked with who had lost her husband, survived 2 surgeries, and was living alone. And yet, she had the most contagious laugh I'd ever heard. She told me, "Every day I find something to laugh about. If I don't, I'll drown in the silence." That wasn't denial, that was wisdom. That was her way of staying alive from the inside out. Humor doesn't erase hardship, but it does soften its impact. When life feels heavy, when the news is grim, the aches are louder, or the loneliness creeps in, being able to laugh is like flipping on a light in a dark room. It's not about pretending everything is okay. It's about remembering that even in tough seasons, you still have the power to feel joy. And here's something powerful to remember. People who laugh often tend to live longer. Not because laughter is magic, but because people who find humor in life are often more socially connected, mentally agile, and emotionally balanced. That's the real medicine. So if you still crack jokes, laugh at old sitcoms, or giggle at your own clumsiness, you're not being silly. You're staying strong. Keep laughing. Watch funny movies, reminisce with friends, tell your grandkids your best old stories. The messier the better. Because every laugh is a choice to keep your spirit alive. And if life has been heavy lately, let this be your reminder. You deserve joy. You've earned it. And now that we've spoken about the kind of strength that comes from within, let's talk about the strength that comes from the people around you. Because the next sign of truly winning at life in your later years is about something no one can do alone: connection. Section 5. Maintaining meaningful relationships. The power of staying connected. You can have a healthy heart, a sharp mind, and strong legs. But without meaningful relationships, life begins to feel hollow. As we age, connection becomes more than just comfort. It becomes a form of survival. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that nearly 1 in 3 adults over 70 experiences significant loneliness, and the consequences are more than emotional. Social isolation increases the risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even heart disease. I remember a patient in his early 80s, physically strong, mentally alert, but what struck me most was his sadness. His wife had passed, his children had moved away, and his phone rarely rang. I didn't think silence could be this loud, he once told me. That sentence still echoes in my mind. But here's the hopeful truth. Connection doesn't have to fade with age. It just takes a little more intention. If you're still calling friends, meeting for coffee, chatting with neighbors, or even building new relationships, you're doing something incredibly powerful. You're feeding your soul. You're keeping your emotional muscles active. And you're showing that you understand something many forget. Relationships are health. Just look at the people of Okinawa, Japan, home to some of the world's longest living individuals. One of their strongest predictors of longevity isn't diet or exercise. It's their moai, a lifelong social circle that supports them emotionally and practically. Whether it's a weekly book club, a walking buddy, or someone you share old jokes with, that bond is far more valuable than any pill or supplement. And it works both ways. When you stay connected, you're not only protecting your own well-being, you're becoming someone else's lifeline too. A phone call, a handwritten letter, a simple "how are you?" These acts ripple out further than we can imagine. If you still have people who smile when you call, who remember your stories, who want to sit beside you in silence or laughter, that's wealth. That's success. And if you don't right now, it's not too late to rebuild. Reach out, reconnect, be bold enough to say, "I miss you," or "Can we talk?" You have more influence than you think. Because staying socially engaged keeps your mind sharp, your mood stable, and your heart open. And speaking of open hearts, let's move into the final sign that you're truly winning at life after 70. The simple, beautiful act of taking care of yourself. Yes, we're talking about cooking, but not just for nutrition. For independence, identity, and joy. Section 6. Cooking for yourself. A recipe for independence and dignity. It might seem like a simple, everyday task. Boiling water, chopping vegetables, seasoning a dish just the way you like it. But at 70, the ability to cook for yourself isn't just about putting food on the table. It's a powerful symbol of independence, dignity, and emotional resilience. I've worked with countless older adults, and one of the most consistent patterns I've seen is this. Those who still cook, still care. They care about their health, their routine, their identity. Cooking is far more than a chore. It's a quiet act of self-respect. I once visited an 83-year-old man who made the same chicken soup every Sunday, without fail. "It's not just soup," he said. "It's me proving I can still show up for myself." That stuck with me. Because when you cook, you're saying, "I am still in control of my day. I still have something to offer, even if it's just to myself." From a health perspective, the benefits are enormous. A long-term study out of Sweden found that older adults who regularly cooked their own meals had a 25% lower risk of developing chronic illnesses such as heart disease and diabetes. Why? Because when you cook, you tend to eat more balanced, nutrient-rich meals, less processed, more intentional. You know what's going into your food, and more importantly, you're choosing it with care. And there's another layer to this: memory, motor coordination, and emotional well-being. Cooking requires you to stand, to move, to recall recipes, to time and taste. All subtle signs that your mind and body are still working in harmony. Even if it's just a simple breakfast, it tells you, I've still got it. There's also a certain joy in the process: the smell of onions in the pan, the sound of water boiling, the satisfaction of plating a meal you created. Maybe it's your grandmother's pie recipe or a dish your partner used to love. Every meal tells a story. Every bite connects you to something deeper: your past, your culture, your worth. So if you're still making your own meals, even just a few times a week, know that you're doing far more than nourishing your body. You're honoring your independence. You're preserving your health. And you're proving, day by day, that age doesn't define you. How you live does. And that brings us full circle. These 6 signs, simple, yes, but deeply meaningful, are proof that you're not just growing older, you're winning at life. If you've made it this far in the video, take a moment, take a deep breath, and truly let this sink in. You are doing better than you think. Whether you checked off all 6 things we talked about or just 1 or 2, the fact that you're here, watching, reflecting, and caring about your health and independence already puts you miles ahead. That's what winning at life really means. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, about showing up for yourself, even in the small, quiet ways no one else sees. Too often, we measure success by external things: titles, wealth, achievements. But as we grow older, the real indicators of a meaningful life shift. They become more personal, more intimate. Can you move through your day without needing help? Can you remember what made you smile yesterday? Can you still laugh, connect, and nourish your body with love and intention? If the answer to even one of those is yes, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Over the past decade, I've worked with seniors from all walks of life, some who felt broken by aging, and others who embraced it like a second beginning. And the difference never came down to money or status. It came down to mindset. The people who continued to engage with life, to keep moving, keep learning, keep loving, were the ones who aged with power, peace, and pride. So wherever you are in your journey, I want you to remember this. Your value isn't shrinking with time, it's deepening. Your life experience, your kindness, your laughter, your presence, it all matters. Every single day. And now, I want to hear from you. Which of the 6 things are you still doing? Which one surprised you or inspired you to take action? Backhand index pointing right, drop a comment below. I read every single one, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to keep going. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more videos that honor your strength, support your journey, and celebrate aging with confidence. Remember, life after 70 isn't the end of the story. In many ways, it's where the real story begins.